Hello everyone, today we will have another topic to discuss, which is all about the Polya's problem solving strategy. So in here, we will talk about the steps, the 4 steps of Polya on how we can solve problems and easily and how we can understand it, okay? But before that, let me share with you about a brief history about George Polya. So one of the recent mathematician who outlined a strategy for solving problems from virtually any discipline is George Polya. Kaya tinawag siyang Polya's problem solving strategy in the year 1887 to 1985. In his book, How to Solve It, he writes, so there is a passage here that a great discovery solves a great problem, but there is a grain of discovery in the solution of any problem. Your problem may be modest, but if it challenges your curiosity and brings into play your inventive faculties, and if you solve it by your own means, you may experience the tension and enjoy the triumph of discovery. Of course naman, di ba? If we encountered real life problems, sana we talk about real life problems, kapag naka-encounter tayo ng ganito, hindi tayo nakakapag-provide agad ng solution. And talagang hahanap tayo ng mga paraan to give solution out of this problem. And after those trials or challenges while finding a solution out of this problem, kapag nahanap mo na yung solution, masasabi mo na lang at the end that it's worth it, di ba? Yung enjoyment, yung happiness na mararamdaman mo talaga is andun kapag nahanap mo na yung the best solution to solve your problem. Ganon din naman sa math, 'di ba? Sa una, pagbasa natin yung sa problem, hindi naman kaagad na ma-provide natin yung sagot. Kailangan ng mga solution diyan, kailangan ng mga step by step to find to find the answer out of that problem. Okay? So, because of his ideas, he is considered the father of problem solving among mathematicians. Ayan. So, tinagurian siyang ama. Yeah, father of problem solving. Biruin mo yan. Among mathematicians pa. Okay? So, that is a simple history about George Polya. There are 4-step class on how to solve problems out of Polya's strategy. The first step is the understand the problem. So we need to understand the problem. So how can we able to understand the problem? Or how can we able to solve the problem? So we must know first what is being asked. Okay? Kung ano yung tinatanong, ano yung hinahanap. And then we need to get the information. So, the information or data that can be extracted from what is given. So, tignan natin yung mga given na pwede nating gamitin, na pwedeng i-connect doon sa tinatanong that will lead us to the solution or to the right answer. So, furthermore class, we need to see to it that you can state the problem in your own words. Okay? So, kailangan mong intindihin ng mabuti yung problem na binigay. Pag connectin mo yung mga given doon out of the what is being asked, then the next step is that you need to devise a plan. So, after you understood the problem, you take down all the given information and data, and you already connect how to use that given that will lead you to the right answer of that what is being asked, the question that is being asked out of that problem. Then you can devise a plan now. So for this step class, you need to think of a strategy that will help us to solve, or that will help you to solve the problem. So there are different strategies. First is that you can use the draw a picture or act it out. So you draw a picture or you can have people play roles or use manipulatives to act the problem out. So manipulate your materials to find the solution to the problem. And remember, different pictures might all lead to the correct solution, or you label the steps as you work out the problem. So in here, mas magandang kung ikaw ay maghilig sa drawing or hindi ka masyadong magaling mag-imagine out of the problem, then you can draw a picture or you can let someone act it out the problem. Okay? Next is guess and check. So for this guess and check, think of an answer that might work and then test your guess. So kung hindi ka masyadong dito, you take down all the possible na pwedeng that will lead to the right answer. So if your guess is not right, think about how you can change it to get closer to the answer. Then write down your guesses so you can start seeing patterns and use the information to make revised guesses. Then repeat until you reach the exact answer. You can include also strategies that will help you to organize the given information, which can be make a table, list, or chart. So you decide what information needs to go on your chart. Then next is list all the possibilities in a table or chart to make sure pieces of the problem don't get lost. Then organize and record the information so it makes sense. Actually, we already used this make a table, list, or chart out of the topic the deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. So if you want to see an example about this, you can watch that video. Okay, next we can apply also the deductive and inductive reasoning. So you can use logical reasoning. So you organize your information, examine relationships, and think about your information to form a logical answer, then generalize each relationship to reach a logical conclusion. So dito pwede nyong i-apply yung inductive and deductive reasoning. Next is look for a pattern. Okay, you can apply this strategy kung yung problem is looking for the next term out of the given sequences of numbers. So you look for a pattern, or pwede rin yung mga images. So list the information you know and identify the information you need to find. Make an organized list or table. So you can also apply this the table out of this strategy when you want to look for a pattern. Next is examine your list for a recognizable pattern. Then use the pattern to find the missing information. And last one is working backwards or work backward. So you start with the end of a problem and work step by step toward the beginning to get a solution. So you write down what you don't know and what you do know. Write down each step as you get closer to the answer. Then the last step will verify that the solution works. So in here, you work backwards. So magsisimula ka, sabi niyo, start with the end. Magsisimula ka sa dulo hanggang papunta sa pinakauna. Kung nahihirapan kang isolve yung problem kapag yung una yung ginamit mo, o yun dun ka nag-start. Okay, so you are done with the first step. You understood the problem. You devise already a plan. You think already what strategy na gagamitin mo. Then, next step is that carry out the plan. Okay, so now, let's now proceed with the plan. So, may plano ka na, so we need to carry out the plan na. So, carrying out a plan class to solve the problem is basically, we are implementing the strategy we choose in the second step until the problem is solved or until a new course of action is suggested. So, kung yung first plan mo, hindi siya nag-click to solve the problem, then you can think another. So, pwedeng magbago yung plan mo doon kung hindi siya applicable or hindi sila match. So, one may get ideas from the others in deciding the best strategy to make sure that the best solution is employed. Then, last step is that you need to review your solution na. Okay? So, once you have found a solution, okay, sa tingin mo tama na yung sagot mo na yon at yung plan, yung strategy na ginamit mo, applicable siya at yung plinano mo ay akma naman sa problem at yung sa tanong na gusto mong sagutin out of the problem, then you need to check the solution. So, you need to ensure that the solution is consistent with the facts of the problem. Okay, baka mamaya kung saan-saan ka namulot ng mga given na hindi pala wala pala doon sa problem. Or biglang nagmagic tapos natatama yung yung sagot mo pero yung solution mo hindi siya akma. Okay? So you need to ask yourself whether there are generalizations of the solution that could apply to other problems. So, tignan mo, baka pwede mong gamitin ulit to with the other problems na you can encounter. So, questions like, is your answer reasonable? So, is important in checking the veracity of the answer to the problem. Okay, for example, sana class, the problem is looking for the dimension of a rectangular box of least cost. And yung lumabas na sagot mo is negative length yung lumabas. So, dito mapapaisip ka na ay parang there's something wrong about my solution in here. So, babalik ka doon sa devise a plan mo dito kasi parang may mali doon sa plano mo. Kasi mapapaisip ka dito that there's no such box with negative dimensions. So, you go back with the actually, you can go back with the first step again. You need to understand, baka hindi mo naintindihan yung mabuti yung problem. So, you need to devise another plan. Then, you apply again the plan you devised. Kung tama siya, kung okay na ba siya, then you need to review the solution. Okay? So, those are the 4 steps of Polya. First is understand the problem. Next is you devise a plan. Then, after you already have your plan, you carry out your plan. Then, check whether your solution is correct. Check whether your answer connects to the question that is being asked out of the problem. Then, you need to review your solution. Okay? Okay, so let's have an example here. I mean, a problem in here that we will apply later, the Polya's 4-step problem-solving strategy. So, the problem is that the GSW basketball team won 3 out of their last 6 games. So, the team is nanalo ng 3 out of their last 6 games. So, 3 ang panalo nila. In how many different orders could they have attained 3 wins and 3 losses in 6 games? So, out of sa 6 games nila, 3 ang panalo nila doon. Ibig sabihin, 3 din ang talo nila doon kasi 6 games yun eh. So, we need to have the first step, which is understand the problem. So, ang tinatanong kung ilang different orders daw ang na-attain nila for having 3 wins and 3 losses out of the total 6 games. So, hahanapin natin dito yung different ways of the GSW basketball team that may have won 3 straight, pwedeng 3 straight, or pwedeng 3 losses. 3 straight na panalo at 3 straight din na pagkatalo. Or maybe pwede rin they lost in the first 3 games and won in the last 3 games. Pwede rin doon. Or there are several orders. Kasi yun yung tinatanong. So, dito, I think naintindihan nyo naman siguro the problem kasi ang tinatanong kung yung order ng 3 pagkapanalo at saka 3 pagkatalo. Paano kaya yung order? Out of the 6 games na naglaro itong GSW basketball team. So, that is the problem. So we understood already. Next is, we need to devise a plan now. So ano kaya ang possible na strategy ang pwede natin gamitin? So we can use the make a list, table, or chart. So you can organize a list of all the possibilities so that you can be sure that no entry will be duplicated. So yun yung devise a plan natin. Next is carry out the plan. So tignan na natin yung plano natin, then i-carry out na natin. So 3 wins must be present in every entry without duplication kasi 3 beses lang sila nanalo. So the strategy is to start the list with 3 consecutive wins. So gagawin natin, we make a list. So list, magli-list down tayo. So number 1 is pwedeng nanalo sila sunod-sunod. So win, 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 tapos talo silang sunod-sunod. Kasi 6 games yon. Number 2, pwedeng dalawang panalo. Okay? Wala na yung ink ng pen natin. Wait lang. So, dalawang panalo. Pwedeng isang talo. Tapos, panalo ulit. Then, dalawang talo. Tama? Okay? Or pwede ring dalawang panalo. Tapos, natalo siya. Sunod na dalawa. Pwede ring nanalo. Tapos, natalo ulit. Okay? Pwede ring dalawang panalo. Tapos, sunod-sunod na talo. Tapos, sa last game nila is nanalo sila. Okay? Or pwede ring first game nanalo. Tapos, sunod-sunod na talo. Tapos, pumawi sila sa last 2 games. Okay? Pwede ring first game nanalo. Second and third natalo. Tapos, nanalo. Magkasunod. Then, last game talo sila. Or, pwede ring win, lose, win, win, lose, lose. Yan. Or, pwede ring win, nanalo, natalo, nanalo, natalo, nanalo, natalo. Ayan. Salit-salitan sila. Okay? Or pwede ring madami to class. Ito, pwedeng yung unang part is puro nanalo yan. So, dito naman, tingnan natin paano kung first game naman natalo. So, sunod-sunod na talo. Tapos, sunod-sunod na panalo. Or, number 10 na tayo. Yan, sunod na talo. Panalo. Talo. Panalo. Panalo. Okay. So, parang ito class, binabaliktad lang natin. So, kung win-win yan, so lose, lose. Tapos, win, win, win. Yan. Pansin nyo. Tapos, ito, yun. Nakaligtaan natin. Apat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pang-lima na tayo. Win, lose, win, 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 lose, lose. Lose, win, win. Lose, lose, win. Okay. Meron pa ba? Okay, wala na. So, in here, class, nakabuo tayo ng 16 different orders na possible na magkaroon ng 3 panalo at 3 pagkatalo ng GSW basketball team out of 6 games. Okay? So, we review now. So, na-carry out the plan na natin. So, we need to review now the solution. So, the list is organized and has no duplicates. May naulit ba tayo? Wala po tayong naulit dyan. So, there are 16 different orders in which the GSW basketball team can win exactly 3 out of 6 games. Ayan. So, there are 16 different orders. It doesn't mean na nanalo sila ng 3 out of the last 6 games is sunod-sunod na panalo. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng, ayan, ito yung mga order. So, there are 16. So, the answer is that there are 16 different orders in which the basketball team can win exactly 3 out of 6 games. So, you write your conclusion. Okay? So, parang you write your conclusion just to justify your solution in here. Okay, so let's have another problem. So, an agency charged 15,000 for a 3-day and 2-night tour in Macau, and 20,000 for the same tour with a side trip to Hong Kong. So 10 persons joined the trip, which enabled them to collect 170,000. How many tourists made a side trip to Hong Kong? So first step, we need to understand the problem. So the problem is that there are 10 persons joined the trip wherein nakakolekta sila ng 170,000 out of that person. So, hindi natin alam kung yung isang tao doon ay pupunta lang sa 3-day and 2-night tour sa Macau, or may iba doon din na magkakaroon ng side trip to Hong Kong, wherein ang babayaran ng isang tao for a 3-day and 2-night tour sa Macau is 15,000. Pero kung gusto mo din magkaroon ng side trip to Hong Kong, so magdadagdag ka ng 5,000, that will give us 20,000. Okay? At 10 tao ang nag-join ng trip na nakalikom sila ng 170,000 pesos. Yun yung situation doon sa problem. Then, how many tourists, ang tinatanong is that, o ang hinahanap is that, aalamin natin kung ilang turista daw ang nag-side trip to Hong Kong. So, hindi tinatanong kung ilang turista ang nag 3-day and 2-night tour lang sa Macau. Ang tinatanong lang is ilang turista daw ang nag-side trip to Hong Kong. Which is, nag 3-day, 2-night tour din sila sa Macau at nag-side trip to Hong Kong din sila. So, ibig sabihin, hinahanap yung number of tourists na nagbayad ng 20,000 pesos out of the 170,000 pesos na nalikom. So, that is the problem. So, meron tayong 2 types of tourists there. Yung nag-attend lang ng 3-day, 2-night trip sa Macau, at yung nag-attend ng 3-day and 2-night tour sa Macau at nag-side trip to Hong Kong. Okay? So, next we devise a plan now. So, ano yung plan natin? We can use an equation in here, class, to represent, or we need to make, kasi hindi pwede tayong kung if you want to do the guess and check, pwede mong gawin yon. So, parang mag-guess ka kung ilang tao ang nagbayad ng 15,000 at ilang tao ang nagbayad ng 20,000. habang para mabuo mo yung 170,000 pwede. Or pwede rin tayong gumamit ng equation dito. So, I prefer the equation. And you can try also the guess and check class. So, we need to use a variable in here that will represent the two types of tourists. So, we use, we need to use x and y in here that will represent the two types of tourists. Okay? Then, let x be the number of tourists bound for Macau alone. So, dito, Macau lang ito. Yung y is bound to Macau and Hong Kong. Okay? So, magkakaroon na tayo ng equation dito. So, kung ang Macau natin ay x at yung y natin ay bound to Macau and Hong Kong, magkakaroon ng side trip to Hong Kong, at ang babayaran ng isang tao sa Macau is 15,000 pesos. So, imumultiply natin yung variable na x doon. Okay, so the 15,000 x is the amount collected from the tourists bound for Macau only. Okay, ito yung na malilikom na pera later, amount of money na mako-collect kung imumultiply natin kung ilang tao ang nag-attend pupunta lang sa Macau. At yung 20,000 naman pesos times y is the amount collected from the tourists bound for Macau and who made a side trip to Hong Kong. So, ayan. So, yan yung yung plano na natin. So, tingnan natin kung applicable yung plano na natin yan para makuha yung right answer. So, we need to carry out the plan now. So, we need to write an equation in here that will help us to find the correct answer. So, ilang tao ang meron? 10. So, ito, sabi natin, itong x and y, nagre-represent ng dalawang tourist natin. So, that will give us the equation x plus y is equal to 10. Okay? Kasi i-add natin kung ilang tao ang pupunta sa Macau at ilang tao ang mag-side trip sa Hong Kong eh. Then, ito muna yung tao lang yan. Paano yung amount? Okay, dun sa amount, meron na tayong nagawa dyan na dalawa. So, that is 15,000 pesos. X plus, kasi co-combine natin yan. Kasi ang nalikom na pera ay 170,000 pesos. Okay. So, to find the number of tourists bound for Macau but who made a side trip to Hong Kong, we need to solve for y. So, paano natin gagamitin yon? Dalawang equation natin 1 and 2. Dalawang equation natin. So, we need to solve for the value of y. So, ang gagamitin natin yung first equation. So, that is x plus y equals 10. So, y is equal to 10 minus x. Okay, so that is another equation. Yan na. Another equation na yan. Then, this one, we can now substitute this dito sa y na yan. So, that will give us 15,000. Sana magkasya ka. Okay, wait lang. So, 15,000 x plus 20,000 y is equal to 170,000. Okay. Then, 15,000 x plus 20,000. Sana magkasya. Times y natin. Ito. So, wait lang. I-erase. Ay, dalaw. Erase natin ito. Ilipat natin. Wait lang. Ilipat natin. Ayan. So, dito tayo. Yung nagawa natin is y is equal to 10 minus x. Ayan. So, dito na tayo. 15,000 x plus 20,000. Then, we substitute now. So, dito ginagamit natin yung substitution method and elimination method. Pwede rito. So, y now is 10 minus x is equal to 170,000. So, 15,000 x plus distribute. So, 20,000 ay 20,000 daw. 200,000 pala. Kasi times 10 na siya eh. Ito, 20,000 times 10 is 200,000 minus. Kasi minus yon, magiging 20,000 x. Okay, is equal to 170,000 pesos. Okay, then we combine like terms. So, magko-combine like terms tayo dito. So, magiging, paano kaya ito? Combine like terms, may x ito, may x ito. So, 15,000 minus 20,000 x, o 15,000 x minus 20,000 x is negative 5,000 x. Then, ito, we combine here sa constant. So 170,000 minus, kasi positive yon, 200,000 pesos. So, negative 5,000 x is equal to 170,000 minus 200,000. That will give us negative 30. Yes, 30,000. So, we need to get the value of x now. So, divide negative 5. Divide negative 5. So, x now is equal to 30,000 divided by 5,000. That will give us 6. Positive 6 kasi negative divided by negative is positive. So, x natin ay 6. Ano yung x natin? The total number of, tourists na nag 3-day and 2-night trip sa Macau. So, there are, okay, you can write your solution in words na lang. Hindi ko na maisusulat dito. So, our x is 6. Then, using the first equation, that is x plus y is equal to 10. Kasi ang hinahanap yung nag-side trip sa Hong Kong. So, 6 plus y is equal to 10. So, y is equal to 10 minus 6. So, y is equal to 4. So, 4 yung nag-attend ng 3-day and 2-night trip sa Macau at nag-side trip sa Hong Kong at 6. So, kung gusto, so we already carry out our plan and it matches with the what is being asked out of the problem. So, we need to state our conclusion now that there are 4 tourists made a side trip to Hong Kong. 4. Kasi yun yung lumabas at it matches naman dun sa tinatanong sa problem. But we need to review our solution. Kahit nakuha natin yung tamang sagot, we need to review our solution. So, since there are a total of 10 tourists, so that is 6 plus 4, that will give us 10. 6 of them only stayed in Macau, while 4 made a side trip to Hong Kong. That is 15,000 times 6 plus 20,000 times 4, that will give us a total of 170,000 that is being stated out of the problem. So this satisfies the condition that the total amount collected for the whole trip is 170,000. Kahit i-multiply yan, plus tama yan. Okay, so that is another strategy that we can use, and we already applied the 4 steps of Polya's problem-solving strategy.